Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ.
And we're on. We're in the room.
Oh, we're back in the room.
Yeah.
After a couple of weeks, we're back in the room.
Yeah. And what a couple of weeks it's been.
Sure.
Oh, crikey! What a scorcher.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Brain, do something.
Are you having a poo? What's going on?
I might be having a stroke.
Oh no! Don't do that.
I mean, I generally save that for the bedroom. There you go. I genuinely might be having a stroke. My brain's just gone, what the hell is going on? I don't even know what's happening right now. What day of the week is it? It's Friday.
It's Friday, yes, that's right. Yeah.
It's Friday. We just start again.
Do you want me to come back to you when you've recovered?
Yeah, you just talk for a little while.
I tell you what it could be. It could be the heat, because yes, it has been a scorcher for certainly at least the last couple of weeks. I've got something later on for Cat of the Week that rather relates to that. But
good.
Yeah. Anyway, have you had a good couple of weeks? Or have you been struggling with the heat?
I mean, I'll be honest, the heat has not been too bad. I've been able to stave it off for the most part, or when it has gotten a little bit unbearable in the house, I've just, gone and driven around in the car and put the air conditioning on. Yeah. I've been fine.
Yeah, fair enough. I went, I've spent time in the car that was unnecessary just for the coolness. Talking of keeping the car cool, I watched a video. There's this woman on social media. I can't remember her name, so yeah, you can't fact check me on that. But anyway, she just like the sciencey things, and talks about I don't know, physics and crap. But anyway, so she was talking about how to cool down your car so that when you get in the car, it's not too hot. And basically, what she did was she opened the one of the back windows, the one opposite the driver's side.
Yeah.
And then opened and closed pretty quickly the driver's door. The idea is that when you open it, it sucks out the air.
Yeah, wafts the air around,
and it draws in fresh air. And within 3 good goes, it cools down the car.
3 large wafts of the door.
3 large wafts.
Okay.
So I thought, I'll try that out.
Did it work?
No,
it did not work.
No,
it never does.
Don't even bother. Do not even bother. It can be quite uncomfortable getting in the car when it's like super hot. Especially when there's no breeze.
Like I say, if you're in that kind of position, and obviously most modern cars, if not all modern cars, have air conditioning. But if you don't drive a modern car, my next bit of advice just isn't going to be useful to you at all. But what I found sometimes, like, when it has been a scorching hot day, so like I went out for the day last week to one of my company offices, and it was a really, really hot day. And what we did when we kind of left is, because fortunately my colleague and I, we parked next to each other, and I was just like, I got in, put the engine on, turned the aircon up as high as I could, then got out again and just left it for 5 minutes, just to blow some air around and let the the AC get cold, and then so when I got in, it was a bit cooler. But we just stood outside the cars with the engines running, just chatting away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not very good for the environment. Please don't
tell the environment.
Don't tell my sustainability manager that's what I did. But again, but it's exactly that. Okay, you can get in the car and you can drive, but actually, the quicker you drive off, the quicker your AC will get colder. Because physics. But I was just like, no, I just don't want to sit in a car that's been sat in 30-degree heat in direct sunlight all day. I just don't want to do it. So no, we just stood outside and had a bit of a chat. So it was nice.
Yeah. So I've got a glass roof, but it has got a thing that covers it. Well, on the inside.
Yeah.
So if I remember, I try and close that when I leave the car, because it's just extra heat coming through that I don't particularly need.
I was thinking probably the best way of stopping your car from getting too hot is to not have glass in the direct line of the sun. So, leave
a shady spot.
Yeah, that's it. Either that or leave the windows open or something.
Yeah.
Maybe don't leave the windows open because somebody will, steal your can of drink or something.
Or the car.
Or the car itself, if you're that unlucky.
Whatever they like. Well, this is the thing. Like back in the old days, that's exactly what you used to do. You leave the windows open.
Leave the windows down.
The window open a bit. When we lived in a high trust society. I was only 30 years ago, and it's all gone to shit.
So anyway. It really wasn't that long ago. I remember parking up at various workplaces and just leaving the windows cracked for the day, and it was fine.
Yeah.
There's never a problem. But then again, I've never been one to leave things on display in my car. I went to Birmingham yesterday for work, and when I parked up, the car next to me, I didn't actually spot it at the time until the guy came walking back, and his window had been smashed. And it was only because I was just sat on my phone, because it was like 7:15 in the morning. I was just sat on my phone playing games. I heard him, effing and jeffing, and then I heard the sound of broken glass. I was like, what's that? And I looked over, and the guy stood there next to his door, smashed window. I was like, oh, whoops. But then when he left, and then I got out the car to go into the office, I kind of had to peer in. And I was like, he's just got stuff all over the front of his car. He's got bags full of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, in the nicest possible. Obviously, yes, it sucks, and I feel for the guy, but it's a real lesson in don't leave things on display in your car.
Yeah.
Because it's crimes of opportunity. They all they don't care what's there. They're just going to go through it. Could have been some homeless guy looking for a new pair of shoes. Because I saw a pair of shoes in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it could have been anything. But I'm going to guess he probably left his cigarettes on the dashboard or something, or because it's Birmingham.
To be fair, I mean, you say opportunist, but you've got to go equipped, because you've got to have like a little bit of ceramic, because people use that, don't they? Off the not that I want to give people tips, but giggity, but the spark plugs have like a ceramic surround. Well,
right.
You get a shard of that, and that if you just whack the window, it just destroys it.
Well, the car park I was in Birmingham, there is detritus everywhere. They could have used anything. They could have just used a brick, because there's loose bricks everywhere.
Yeah, but bricks don't do the job, because with most cars, you'd be doing well to get a brick through a window.
Okay.
Because it's tempered glass. That's why you need to go in with something really sharp and.
Well, there you have it, folks.
That's apparently what happens.
Yeah, you want to break into a car? Use a piece of ceramic.
Yeah.
Another quick tip from PJ and Ted. Please don't break into cars. It's bad.
Yeah.
And it upsets a lot of people.
Yeah. Some people like my quick tip.
I'm sure they
sometimes the whole lot. But the thing is, I mean, you can never stop it. Things happening. You can never stop it, because the thing is, even if you've not got anything on display, somebody could take out your window to pull down the back seat to see if there's anything in the boot.
Yeah, well, exactly.
So
that's
you're
it.
Kind of screwed anyway, but just don't make it easier. Don't leave a laptop on the back seat.
I say, just don't make it obvious.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll never stop people from breaking into the car. But when I kind of looked at it, I was just like, no offense, but kind of going to happen, because you left everything everywhere.
Yeah.
and they're just looking for something, anything. Again, it could just be. There could have been. Remember the days where you could just leave change in the center console, for like paying for tolls or parking or something. You just have coins in the tray. And it's like, you leave 50p in there, someone's going to smash your window for it. That's a pack of bubble gum or something. I don't know. Probably isn't nowadays. It's not even a Mars bar. But you know what I mean? It's like
I think it's somebody smashing a window to get a handful of change. I don't think it's bubblegum they're after. I think it's crackheads that tend to like bubblegum.
I don't know. Not being a junkie, I don't know whether they like bubblegum or not.
No.
Oh, sorry, I got really bad wind today. I'm really bloated today. I know you don't want to know this, but I'm feeling really bloated today.
Oh, yeah. It's something you've eaten, perhaps?
Maybe. I mean, I did destroy a pack of bacon for lunch, so it was probably that.
How many rashers?
16. Streaky bacon. So it's thinner.
Okay.
Not that I'm really helping my case.
Right.
I was just
Still
like
16. Did you say 16?
Yeah. 1/6.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah, 1/6. 16.
Yeah.
Like I say, I know I'm not helping my case, but I was like, it got to lunchtime. I was like, I'm really hungry, and I was like, I've got a couple of like burger buns, like small ones, small little Warburton's burger rolls, and I was like, I just fancy like a bacon sandwich or something, and I was kind of laying them out on the grill pan. I was just like, I can fit all 16 on here, and I just did. I didn't even think twice. I was like, nah, just put them all on. That's it. Cook them. Done.
Yeah.
Couple of bacon sandwiches.
They're quite thin. I quite like thick bacon.
Well, I had streaky bacon.
Yeah.
And they're usually quite thin anyway, so they go crispier.
Yeah.
So I like crispy, streaky bacon, smoked, not unsmoked.
I like streaky bacon. Lovely. I had a nice place. I had a nice place. No, I had a nice brunch the other day.
Yeah.
At a place locally. They do a stack of pancakes. Probably too many, actually.
It always is.
It's one pancake too many at least. But
you start a restaurant and call it that. One pancake too many.
One pancake too many. That sounds like you could put that on a gravestone.
I was going to say, actually, that's probably going to be written under cause of death on my death certificate. One pancake too many. One pack of bacon too many.
Yeah. Be your name of your autobiography. No, so anyway, stack of pancakes with streaky bacon, maple syrup, and then I add 2 poached eggs to the top.
Interesting choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Why not fried eggs?
It just seems like more of a poached egg sort of thing. I mean, I would prefer a poached egg generally to a fried egg. I'll eat a fried egg, but I like a poach.
Yeah. I know it's down to personal preference.
I don't think there's that many meals actually that can't be improved with a couple of poached eggs on top.
Yeah, I say the same about bacon. Bacon goes with everything.
Yeah, I'm not totally going with that. Although I did see something that pointed out that effectively basically the most Christian dish in the world is a bacon cheeseburger.
How is that Christian? Is that what Jesus was eating?
Well, probably. If you've got 5,000 of food, but no, I mean, obviously, probably fish to be fair, but it's certainly in terms of the burger world, because if you think about it, right, you've got bacon on there, so you've got whole swathes of different religions out there that don't eat bacon, so they're out. Then you've got your burger, which is beef. So there you've got even more, bits of beef, maybe a bit of horse, like the good old days, and then and no vegans either. So be proud of a bacon cheeseburger.
That's the most Christian meal.
Yeah,
Christian thing to eat is bacon cheeseburger. Okay, yeah, all right. Jesus, we've got 5,000 people here to feed. Oh, McDonald's? Mackey's, anyone? Yeah, good. walking through the desert and they see the golden arches in the distance. It's like, hey! And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah, it's the official dish of white supremacy. Bacon cheeseburger.
Good.
So anyway, what's your favorite burger? If you could design any burger, what would it be? What would it look like? What would you have in it? Like anything's on the table, or literally on the table, on the plate.
Anything's in the burger. I've got to be honest. I just love a good bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of fancy put an egg in there or aubergine or. I don't give a shit about that. Just give me a bacon cheeseburger. I want grease. I want a heart attack in a bun. If that's okay. But yeah, just like a bacon double cheeseburger. But actually, with that, I prefer there has to be a proportion as well. So obviously, with a double cheeseburger, 2 burger patties, 2 rashers of streaky bacon per patty, no more, no less, and then thin cheddar. None of this American cheese nonsense. Thin cheddar melted over the top of the bacon on top of the patty. And you do that for each, and then you stack them and then put them in a bun. Perfect. That is my perfect burger. Don't care about pickles. I mean, I like them. I'll eat salad in a burger. I just prefer it wasn't there.
Yeah. Do you feel like it needs to be smashed?
I don't really care.
Because everything's smashed these days.
I was going to say smash burgers is just
burgers. They smash potatoes.
Yeah, a smash burger or smash patty. It's just a regular burger patty, except rather than putting it into a mold, they've just smashed it flat. That's it. It's the same stuff. Depending where you go.
Yeah, I tell you what. Talking of big burgers with lots of stuff in. By the way, get in the chat if you're watching. Get in the chat and tell us what your favourite burger would be. What would you have in it? Let's play fantasy burgers. We should have a jingle.
I'll say, quick, make up a jingle on the spot. Fantasy burgers.
So, what would your fantasy burger be, and why? So anyway, so the time that I had this brunch, I was actually having brunch with my son. Is only 9. So it was Father's Day.
Right.
Yeah, it was a bit of a Father's Day brunch. So we were eating on. By the way, at the end of the meal, the waitress came over and with the bill. I was like, okay, so you're getting this, right? And he's like, what? Huh? This is Father's Day?
This one's on you, bud.
Yeah. Maybe next year. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I had like I say, stack of pancakes, 1 pancake too many, bacon, maple syrup, a couple of eggs on top, lovely. He had the brunch burger.
Okay.
And the brunch burger, and there was a lot of conversation about this because I said, look, this is brunch, okay? So when we eat later on, because I know what he likes, I said, you're probably going to want a burger later. Okay, so if you have this brunch burger, you are not going to want a burger later. He's like, yeah, but the thing is, this is a brunch burger. That's a completely separate thing.
It really is.
Because it's a brunch burger. I'm like, okay, I get the logic.
Kid logic's the best.
I mean, sometimes it does run rings around me. Yeah, it's like weaponized autism and like. Well,
I was gonna say that's saying something because you're a smart guy.
Yeah. I mean, who said that? Just give that impression. So anyway, he.
I won't compliment you then. Fuck you.
Okay, thank you. He. So anyway, he wanted this brunch burger. So the brunch burger, and it came and it's like 2 patties. It had cheese. It had other bits and pieces in. It was like imagine like not quite a breakfast, but it had loads of stuff in there. Bacon and what else did it? And it had egg in as well. There was loads of stuff in it. And then lo and behold, later on, he didn't want a burger.
Yeah, there you go. See, actually, now you've said that, I'm just like, actually, throw a couple of hash browns in there. My bacon cheeseburger. Throw in a couple of hash browns.
Tell you something I've not had for a long time. No, not that. It's a type of burger, and it's a Zinger Tower burger
Mm.
from KFC. Now that is actually good. The only problem with KFC, and I've talked about this before, is you go there. I mean, you don't want to be in there because so you go to a drive-through, but what you order and what you get aren't necessarily the same thing. So you're kind of taking things. If you turn up to the window and say, "I want 5 pieces and a drink," okay, you're going to get either 4 or 6 pieces and a drink, right? It can't go that badly wrong. But if you start specifying what burger you want, and it's like, "Oh, I want a Zinger Tower burger," you'll get a Zinger burger, or you'll get a Tower burger that's not a Zinger. But in an ideal world, that's what I like. Zinger Tower, it's a bit zingy, and it's got the hash browns, which makes it a tower.
I've had a Zinger Tower for a long time. But then again, I haven't had KFC for a long time. I just feel generally quality has just dwindled over time with KFC, with all the fast food places. There's no care put into it, but then again, you don't go to a fast food place for care and attention.
No.
But yeah, just generally the food quality is just bad. Maybe I've just been spoiled with good home cooked or just better restaurants. But fast food just doesn't do it for me. Even Burger King used to be my go-to. Bacon double cheeseburger, XL bacon double cheeseburger, portion of onion rings, and a large Diet Coke, and I'd be happy, so happy with that, or Pepsi Max or whatever. But even now, I'm just like, nah, I just don't feel it anymore. The quality is just not there. I'd rather make my own.
Yeah. And the trouble is, a lot of places that you go, like if you go for pub grub and things like that, you know it's just been pulled out and stuck in a microwave.
Oh, it's all microwave.
Yeah, and this is why what I tend to have is something like a mixed grill, because like those individual parts of a mixed grill, they've kind of got to be made. It's like an all-day breakfast or a mixed grill, something like that. It's not like rip open the packet, stick it in the microwave. Some of it's crap though. God, I had a mixed grill a few weeks ago, and honestly, the sausages must have been left over from breakfast.
And
it was like, yeah, but which breakfast?
From how long ago?
Yeah. Honestly, I tell you what, you could have taken one of those sausages and broken a car window with it. It was fucking terrible.
Good, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So anyway, listen, I need to have a quick look at my thing, because I was going to go through a couple of things that I saw on Reddit. Also, don't forget, if you are watching, tell us about your fantasy burger. What's your favorite burger? Anyway, I thought we'll go for a bit of relationship problems. I thought this will be a nice, easy one.
What she said.
Giggity. Yeah. So anyway, it doesn't fit in the box.
I'm gonna say, what the fuck's happened to the? Oh.
Yeah.
You want me to fix it real quick?
Hang on. Does that help?
No.
That doesn't help.
That does not help.
If this, I tell you what, would it help if I try and do something?
No.
How about
so whatever you just did, undo it, because it made it worse. Right, there you go.
Is that better? There we go. Right, okay. Right, tip of the day, giggity. Tip. Tip of the day, go down to 90%.
So, welcome to Tinder for your tip of the day.
Here we are. We've got a problem here from the real Khaled. That's the username on Reddit. Girlfriend giving me the silent treatment.
Are you about to say sealant treatment?
Sealant, yeah.
Sealant treatment.
He's all leaky. And yeah. So anyway, here we go. Girlfriend giving me the silent treatment. We haven't got any ages here. We don't know ages or anything, but let's assume girlfriend is female. My girlfriend often gives me the silent treatment when I make personal decisions without discussing them with her first. Okay. For example, I recently ordered a new phone that hasn't been shipped yet and told her about it afterwards. She immediately went quiet and hasn't spoken to me since. A similar thing happened when I registered for an online course that I hadn't even started yet. These decisions didn't affect her directly or involve joint finances, but her reaction makes me feel like I'm being punished for doing things independently. Is this normal in a healthy relationship? Am I missing something, or is this a red flag?
I know exactly what you're missing.
Mm-hmm.
Communication. You want to do something, talk to your other half about it, especially if you live with them. Just be like, oh, hey, I'm thinking of getting a new phone. My one's just getting a bit crap. It's not, You don't have to justify it. Just go, I'm going to go get a new phone. You know, I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to go and do it. And then if she has any real reservations about it, she'll hopefully then voice them.
Why would she ever? I'm going to wildly disagree with you on this.
Okay.
What? Why would she have an objection to him buying a mobile phone for himself?
Maybe they're trying to save money for something.
Well, maybe they are, but I mean, it doesn't sound like that's actually the issue. It just sounds like she likes to be included in everything, basically micromanage the guy's life.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, it says advice wanted. Well, here's my piece of advice on this one.
Run, dude. Just run.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, potentially. I mean, is this normal in a healthy relationship? Well, no, obviously not.
No.
Am I missing something? Yeah, possibly. Is it a red flag? Yes, it is a red flag. But he says these decisions didn't affect her directly or involve joint finances. So there's no need for it. There's no need for it.
I missed that bit. Sorry.
Yeah, and my I mean, I had this down from the very beginning where it said girlfriend giving me the silent treatment. The answer to that one, if she gives you the silent treatment, just embrace it. embrace the peace and quiet.
Like, enjoy it. Enjoy the time.
Enjoy it. And the best thing is, if you embrace it and enjoy it, that'll be super bloody frustrating, and you'll find that the silent treatment ends pretty swiftly.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway,
maybe that's where I've been going wrong all these years. I'm just like, no, I just want to talk. Let's talk about this stuff. Like, no. I want some peace and quiet. It's like free time. Free time is the best. You know, it's when your other half, they want to go out and do something, and you're just like, yeah, okay, cool, great, go have fun. It's okay. Yeah. It's genuinely, it's not because we're trying to be good people and allow you to be independent. It's because we get time to ourselves that doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
We then don't owe you anything because that was your decision.
Yeah.
Remember that, ladies.
Mm. So, right, okay. Then we've got some comments. Sometimes we read these things out and nobody's bothered to comment. It's just us, you know. Anyway, first comment, obviously from a woman. She has her reasons for being disappointed in you, but you're not telling us those reasons. She's not paying directly, but she's living with the consequences of your financial mismanagement.
That's a real harsh comment. I'm not going to say that's from a woman, but that's a really harsh comment.
It's either from a woman or it's from some incel that thinks that by writing that, somehow his girlfriend is going to leave him and go to him instead. No, I'm sorry. That's bollocks. If she has her reasons for being disappointed in you, but you're not telling us those reasons, there's possibly she's not telling him the reasons.
Because she hasn't told him the reasons.
Well, you can't tell anybody anything if you give them the silent treatment.
Precisely. I was going to say that one is null and void because if you want to know what the reasons are, she has to tell him what they are.
Yeah.
Because guess what, ladies? We're not mind readers.
No.
We're really not.
And also, we're not children, so we don't want to get involved in your childish games of silent treatment.
No, we really don't.
Yeah, she's not paying directly, but it's living with the consequences of your financial mismanagement. Well, that's a bloody hell of an assumption that there's financial mismanagement. All he said is sometimes he orders a new phone.
So he ordered a phone and booked himself onto some training courses.
Oh, no.
Yeah, God forbid he tries to make something of his life.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Right, here we go. Somebody called Haley Bay. Was that B? Bay.
BAE, I think is Bay, isn't it?
Bay.
Isn't
Not normal. Red flag. Sounds as if she does not have high emotional intelligence. I'd be frank with her and tell her if she continues acting childishly, then she will find out real soon you have options who know how to express themselves.
I wonder if his name is.
Written, but...
Yeah, that's really well. I wonder if his name is Frank. If she says to be frank.
Yes, be frank. And if you
I
can't
know
be
it's
frank,
so.
be Batman.
I was say I know it's so stupid when people do that and they go, "Let me be frank," and you're like, okay, I'll be John. It's so stupid and very childish, but I enjoy it. It makes me smile. I do many things throughout the day to make myself smile, including dropping many "that's what she said" jokes. Like one of my colleagues, we were in a meeting today and in a Teams call for about an hour, and I must have dropped easily 10 "that's what she said" because she kept setting me up for them, and I was just like, stop setting me up, and I will stop saying it. It's quite straightforward. And then we were chatting on instant message, and she said, "Oh, there's an email communication going out about something." Okay, cool, yeah, no problem. And she just said, "It's just short and sweet," and I just gave her the eyes emoji, and she just laughed. She gave me the laughing emoji. Stop setting me up. Stop it.
Yeah. So anyway, this person is needs to polish their writing, but otherwise pretty much on the nose with that one. The whole high emotional intelligence, right? This gets banded around a lot by women, and they say, "Oh, you got to have emotional intelligence." What they mean is, they don't mean emotional intelligence. If you're emotionally intelligent, you don't go around crying all the bloody time. You control yourself. What they think emotional intelligence is kind of going around weeping or moaning about stuff.
I think people confuse emotional intelligence with emotional maturity. When actually, emotional intelligence to me means you are, perceptive. You're very aware of people's emotion. You can read emotions quite well. You're quite. I'm not going to say empathic, but because but you are. You're quite empathic. But emotional maturity is the ability to keep your shit together. If you're giving someone the silent treatment because they went off and bought a phone and then some training courses for themselves and didn't consult you, you're not particularly emotionally mature.
Yeah.
He's then showing emotional intelligence by going, or his level of emotional intelligence by going, I don't understand why she's giving me the silent treatment. If that makes sense. That makes sense in my head.
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference between emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. And I think what this person, this Haley Rebay, I think she means emotional maturity. But then again, I don't know. I'm not this person.
So anyway, there we go. What do you think at home? Assuming you're at home. I mean, you might be out. You might be out and watching this.
I think you might be out and about.
Yeah, you might be out and about. You might be.
You might be at home enjoying some free time.
Well, you could be. You could be indeed. But wherever you are and whatever you're doing, what do you think? Get in touch. Get in the chat. Fire up the chat.
Fire up the Quattro.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. And as soon as I said it.
Never seen that show. Which one's that? Is that Life on Mars or is that Ashes to Ashes?
That'll be Ashes to Ashes. Because the Quattro was the 80s one.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But it was the same guy in both shows, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was the same dude. I can't remember his name.
Have you seen either of
No.
them? Really? Okay.
Well, they were, so what were they? BBC? I think they were BBC shows.
Possibly, yeah.
And they might have been Channel 4, or whichever one. Either way, the time they were on, I think Coronation Street was on. And that's what we watched in my house because I was a child and I had no rights or TV privilege. My TV privilege was, well, you can come and watch TV with us, but you're watching what we're watching, irrespective of how dull and uninteresting it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
I spent a lot of time in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Because I did not like Coronation Street.
About you.
Yeah. I mean, I still spend a lot of time in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Every room is my bedroom in this house. Really not.
How did we get onto that? Anyway, my recommendation to you is to watch them. It's actually pretty good.
I probably won't get around to that, but thank you. I'll take that recommendation under advisement.
I know you won't. You'll be watching some Star Wars Trek shit.
Hey, shut up. I am rewatching Family Guy right now. I've literally started from the beginning of Family Guy.
I literally watched a couple of episodes before I came out. Get me in the mood for talking bollocks. What was it? I can't remember which episode it was, but basically, Peter loses his voice, and he's supposed to be shouting abuse at Meg to motivate her to do well in the netball, basketball, whatever it was. And there was a bit of a throwback because there was a guy going, "Butt scratchers, get your butt scratchers here, butt scratcher." That was ages ago. The whole butt scratcher thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
We were on camp somewhere, and that was the theme of the camp.
Yeah.
Butt scratcher. I want to say that was Manston.
Mm-hmm. Very possibly.
Yeah, I think that was Manston.
Interesting. Now I have got a telescopic.
Yeah, there it is. Butt scratcher.
It's in the shape of a cat. It's like I don't know if you can see that. You've got sort of a cat
with claws.
Cat's claws. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. So there we go.
Butt scratcher.
Butt scratcher.
The last episode I watched was PTV, where Peter starts his own TV station. TV network, and he gets censored by the FCC. It's actually one of my favourites because it's got, I think, the best cold open to an episode of Family Guy ever, and it starts off in the caves in Afghanistan with Osama bin Laden messing up and they all just end up. Literally, that opening takes 10 minutes. That's like nearly half the show is gone before you actually get into the story of Peter starting his own TV station. You know, because it's that bit which parodies, and then it goes into a Naked Gun parody, which I love. You know, just it's just funny as hell. But yeah, that was the last one I watched, and it's so good. But so I've started watching it again because I've had to now start my own Disney Plus subscription. So my sibling cancelled their subscription, so I can't use theirs anymore. So I had to start my own. And I was like, well, this sounds like an excuse to watch all of Family Guy again. Great, let's go.
Yep. Yeah, I'm working through it. Yeah, I'm kind of working backwards because I hadn't seen any of the latest series, so I watched that first. So I'm moving back.
I think I'm a few weeks behind on the latest stuff because I've now started having to watch it from the beginning, and I have to do it in order. My OCD won't let me do it any other way. Anyway, moving on.
Moving swiftly on. Am I the arsehole? Don't answer that. Am I the...
Yes, you are, Ted. You are the arsehole every time.
So I'm told. Anyway, am I the arsehole for not getting my boyfriend a birthday present? Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Maybe not.
So, my boyfriend, 33M, and I, 25F, have been together for 8 months. It's not super long, is it? I'm putting myself through school. Okay. And I'm working towards getting my 3rd degree. I'm just taking the piss now.
That's not putting yourself through school. That's taking the piss.
Yeah.
You know, putting yourself through school is, I didn't get to go to college when I was younger. I've had to work as a stripper for the last 2 years to get the money together, and now I'm going to go and get a degree. Yeah. That's putting yourself through school. This is, you just don't want to go to work.
Yeah, that's right.
So fuck you.
Yeah. Wow. So anyway, I'm working towards getting my 3rd degree for no apparent reason. Because of this, I'm super broke and penny pinch in every way I can. My boyfriend is settled in his career with disposable income. Oh, I wonder why you two are together. So we have different habits when it comes to spending money. Our finances are completely separate. Okay. His birthday was last week, but I didn't get him a physical gift because or gift as they're called, because all the things he really wants or needs are wildly outside my budget. Instead, I woke up super early in the morning to make him a big special breakfast. Was it not a physical breakfast? Was it just like a metaphorical
breakfast?
It was a special breakfast with French toast, eggs, bacon, and coffee. Do you know what? I'm just going to say this, and I'll probably get some backlash, and I don't care. He's working. She's taking the piss. She should be making that breakfast every fucking day.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of backlash for that.
I've said it. Anyway,
I disagree. I think actually, because now maybe he likes being able to treat her to things because he knows he doesn't have a lot of money or she doesn't have a lot of money. So he goes, don't worry about it. I got all this. You can live a lavish lifestyle without having to work.
If you say so.
He likes her to be a kept woman.
If you say so.
Hey, I'm just saying they exist, man.
Yeah. That's fine. Anyway, French toast, eggs, bacon, and coffee. Why would you have French toast and eggs? That makes no sense. You either have French toast or you have eggs, because French toast is basically eggs.
It's protein, man.
Yeah.
That's why there's bacon there as well.
Yeah.
French toast is so good, though.
Yeah. Oh, I could just eat some French.
You know what? I might have to go to the shop in the morning and buy some bread just so I can make some French toast.
Midnight snack. Brought it to him in bed. He's the type to work even on his birthday. Huh? What you mean, a man? So I made him a special packed lunch: grilled chicken sandwich with pesto, mozzarella cheese, veggies, the works, and rice on the side. While he was at work, I cleaned his whole house. I swept, dusted, mopped, picked up, and organized. Then I made his favorite dinner, penne vodka.
What? The fuck is penne vodka?
I have no idea.
Is that just pasta cooked in vodka?
Presumably.
What is he, 12? Or 18?
No, he's 33, male.
No.
Anyway, when he got home, I gave him a handwritten birthday card before we ate dinner and watched the movies. I also planned a surprise party that weekend with his friends and family, which I also cleaned up everything after. Well, you would do. And I thought he had a great time, but he admitted to me yesterday that he was upset and felt unimportant because I didn't get him an actual present. I reminded him about my financial situation. He said it wasn't about the cost of the gift, but the gesture behind giving something, and it could have been something small. I asked him if everything else I did wasn't enough of a gesture, and he said that wasn't the point. Now we're both just upset at each other. So am I the arsehole for not getting my boyfriend a physical birthday present? There is an edit, but on the face of what we've already heard, what are you thinking?
I don't think she's the arsehole. Actually, he is 100%. Especially if she doesn't do these things on a regular basis, or certainly consecutively on the same day. He should be able to recognise, breakfast in bed, a clean house when he gets home from work, movie night, because I assume that's because he likes a movie night.
Mm-hmm.
So she's done that for him rather than drag him out and do something else or just watch some trash reality TV or whatever. And organised a birthday party for him. No, I think he's being a bit of a dick on this one.
I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to double down on what I was saying earlier about the breakfast.
We'll name this episode Double Chauvinism.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
With the side of vodka.
Yeah.
Penne.
I need a tray.
Yeah. I'm gonna double down on that and say apart from a surprise birthday party, which is obviously birthday related, she made breakfast. She made him some lunch. And at the end of the birthday present that she threw, birthday party that she threw for him, she cleaned up afterwards. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is not outlandish stuff, really. I don't feel like cleaning the house, sweeping and dusting. I notice she says, while he was at work, I cleaned his whole house, his house. I also get kind of the vibe that they live together, potentially.
Maybe he owns the property and it is actually his house.
Well, yeah, I assume it is because he works and she doesn't, and she's on her third degree. But again, what happens normally? Does he do all the cleaning? Does he do absolutely everything? He might make the breakfast. Who knows?
One would assume they share the responsibility.
You can assume that, but the way it's written, I'm kind of getting the vibe that she's a little bit of a girl child.
Okay.
Yeah, perpetual student. I mean, she's younger, obviously. She's whatever age she is, 5, 6, 7, 8 years younger than him. But yeah, probably taking a little bit of it, I would say. As for the present, I kind of get it. I'm going to throw a curveball here.
From whose side? You get it from whose side?
Well, giggity. I'm going to throw a curveball here and say she's an arsehole, but also he's a bit of an arsehole for complaining that he didn't get a present. Who would do that? Only an arsehole would do that.
Yeah, without understanding kind of the context around their home life, I don't think she's an arsehole at all. Okay, yes, I'm making a wild assumption that they share the responsibilities around the house. They probably share cooking. They alternate, or just whoever happens to be in the kitchen and goes, you know what, I just fancy cooking tonight. I'll cook something, and then the other person cleans up or whatever. They're even in a modern relationship. I feel like that's just generally how people should be doing it. So that, like I say, that's my wild assumption. So for her then to do everything on his birthday, he basically has to want for nothing or do nothing,
except go to work.
But that's his choice.
Yeah, that's his choice. But it's not his choice because he goes to work, because he works.
He can book the day off.
He could book the day off, but like I said, he's one of those types of people that goes to work on his birthday. A man. Whereas women tend to try and take the day off because...
Do they? I think you're wild. I think you're wildly generalising here.
I am, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with generalising. But generally speaking, men probably don't see birthdays as important as women see birthdays.
But apparently this guy does, because he then bitched and complained that she didn't buy him. That she didn't buy him anything.
Yeah, which makes him, a little bitch.
Which makes him a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. And
and couldn't see
he's the arsehole for that.
I was like, and couldn't see what she was, trying to do for him, given her financial status. If they're trying to be
said that,
if they're trying to be financially independent. I mean, again, I'm one of those. I really don't give a crap about my birthday, and when I spend time thinking about it, there is an element of I don't give a crap about my birthday because if I don't expect anything, I'm never going to be disappointed. Yeah. When something doesn't turn up, because at the end of the day, so I just go with this whole, because I actually don't. I'm in a position in my life where if there's something that I want, I'm going to go and get it. Yeah. Or I'll save up the money to go and get it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. So I don't need anyone to buy me anything. So I'm never going to complain if someone doesn't buy me something, whether they're my significant other or not. Now, if we generally have this balanced home life of, whoever the last person out of bed is makes the bed, cool. Whoever cooks that night, the other person loads the dishwasher or does the washing up. But the other person can still help it, that'll be cool as well. When it comes to the weekend and doing the housework, that it's a split responsibility. Someone's going to run around with a duster, someone's going to run around with a vacuum, someone's going to do one bathroom, someone will do the other bathroom, or whatever, someone will wipe down the kitchen, etc., etc. You split it. many hands make light work. It's easier just to get things done quickly as a team. So if I did go out to work on my birthday, which I do quite regularly, because I don't take my birthday off either, and I came home and found that the house had been cleaned, but especially if they made me breakfast in bed, that would have been enough. I'd have been like, okay, cool, thanks for that, appreciate it, but you didn't have to do that. So then when I get home, the house is cleaned and dinner's being made, and you're letting me get my choice of movie for movie night. The best birthday ever. This is fucking amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but
where's my jewelry, bitch?
Well, yeah, I still feel like that should be a day, not your birthday. That seems like a reasonable thing on any given day, even if you took it in turns. It's like, even if like the next day, or every other day, you make the breakfast for the other person, or you make the lunch for the other person, or you do the cleaning, or whatever it may be. It's still it's not like over and above.
I'd say
she's not gone over and above when it comes to making some breakfast and a packed lunch. And I'm sticking by that. Obviously, the party, yeah, that's a given. That was a gesture. That was something she did. Cleaning up afterwards, that's kind of taking the piss a bit, adding that. I don't think that's really particularly relevant. We'll have the edit in a moment and see what else is being said. But like I say, I think she's the arsehole. I think he's a bit of an arsehole as well. So it's a couple of arseholes. And when it comes to gift, I really think, I don't imagine for a moment that she goes an entire week without having some sort of $10 drink from Costa or something, right? I think, I really believe that actually something, however small, something just little wrapped up, could even be a bit of a comedy gift or something like that. Just a funny thing from the the pound shop or equivalent. That makes all the difference, I would have said. But he shouldn't be asking. He shouldn't be asking for it. He shouldn't be complaining that he didn't get it.
No, I agree. Let's go for an edit then. I think we could argue about this all night. You and me.
We could do. I see a lot of people talking about love languages and communication. I agree. Those are super important. My love language is actually physical touch, not acts of service like a lot of people are guessing. I know his love language is gifts, so I thought a handmade card would be enough along with everything else. I'm just confused and upset because I tried to go above and beyond due to the fact that my budget constraints meant I couldn't buy him a gift that wasn't from the dollar store. Get something from the dollar store. That's almost literally what I said, except I said pound shop. You should have gone to the dollar store. It would only cost you $1. Wrap it up, give it to him. If you please as punch.
$1.25 nowadays.
Yeah, probably. I like the comment about craft gifts. I think those are good alternatives, and I'll talk to my boyfriend about that and see what he thinks. I hope this is just a communication issue. A lot of people are also asking about the money I spent on food for a gift instead. The money I spent on food was part of my grocery budget. It's money I would have spent anyway. I just factored in his favourite things. Plus, I used a small bit from his fridge. My budget was and continues to be very tight. Oh, what's tight? Oh, the budget. So that, I mean, that doesn't really change anything.
The other bit that I'm thinking about.
She said it herself about the pound store.
The other bit that I'm just thinking of is, after 8 months, do you know somebody well enough to be able to find them a suitable gift from the dollar store or the pound shop or the rupee general?
Yes. Yeah, you get a little figurine of a dog with a bobbly head, and it doesn't matter. It's just like, I saw this and thought of you, and that's all you need.
Everyone's a dog person when you buy the bobblehead.
Well, exactly. I mean, the thing is, anybody, like, you can go to a charity shop. You literally go to a charity shop and find something somebody else will find amusing or interesting or whatever it may, or cute or something. She doesn't have to go out and buy him a Rolex or, you know, an experience day driving fast cars or anything like that. Just something very, very, very small.
No,
And
I would be so mad if a significant other, whether we were together for 8 months, 8 years, 80 years, somebody bought me a Rolex, I'd be fucking fuming. I'd be like, why would you spend that kind of money on me? Do you even know me? You know, even if I was a multimillionaire and had everything that I wanted, why would you buy me a Rolex? I'm never going to use it.
I mean, that's an odd thing to say.
Why?
Well, first of all, you could use it to tell the time. That's just a hunch. I mean,
I've got something to tell the time.
I know.
It's called my existing watch, which I like very much.
I'm sure you do. And, you know, but, you know, you might think, oh, I'll wear the other watch for a day or whatever. You might.
Flashy extravagance isn't really my speed. But anyway, the point is, like I say, even right now, if somebody spent that kind of money on me, I'd be really mad at them. I'd be like, why? Why did you? I'd rather you spent that money on you, you know, for something that you wanted. You know, that makes me happy. Seeing you happy makes me happy. You know, you buying me, you know, a Rolex, a fast car. No, please don't. Because actually, what you're then doing, and maybe it says more about me than anything else. I feel like you're taking away my choice. If you buy me a Rolex,
yeah,
I feel like I have to wear it, or else you're going to get mad at me for not wearing it. I find things like watches and jewelry and things like that really personal.
Yeah.
And if somebody just bought me a random piece of jewelry, I'd be a bit, Sometimes they'll get it absolutely right. You know, if you know me, you know the kind of things I'm into. Like, you know, you could buy me an alternate, you know, silver curb chain necklace, you know, because I like them. You know, they're good. Yeah, they're very simple. I quite like them. That's fine. But if you bought me something quite expensive, like a watch, like I say, I think watches are actually quite a personal thing. And you have to know somebody incredibly well to know the kind of watches to buy them.
Well, I think somebody buying you a Rolex is a kind of problem that it's possibly quite easy to deal with. Of all problems in life, I think, oh my God, I've been given a Rolex is probably something you can kind of deal with. And don't get me wrong, it's not really my bag. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like there's only one thing more tacky than a fake Rolex, and that's a real one. All right, that's my feeling on it. All right, but that being said, if somebody wanted to go and buy me an Aston Martin, do it. I'm available to pick it up from anywhere. More than happy with that. All right?
Please buy me an Aston Martin. Yeah,
expensive gifts. I really don't mind.
Yeah, okay. So if someone dropped an Aston Martin on my doorstep, I'd be like, yeah, cool, thanks.
Yeah,
yeah, that's nice. I'd be like, but then I'd also be like, do you mind if I sell it? I have no requirement for an Aston Martin.
Yeah.
If anything, it's just going to cost me an absolute fortune in insurance. And someone's likely to try and break into it and steal it. Because I don't, especially like where I am now, because I don't have a driveway with a lockable gate. I don't have a driveway at all. So I definitely don't want to park it on the road.
Yeah.
Now, if I lived in a big house with a big driveway with a gate on it, and someone dropped an Aston Martin there, I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. If somebody bought me an Aston Martin, I'd bloody move so I had a driveway.
Yeah.
I'd move somewhere that has a garage, or rent a garage nearby.
Yeah, you could do that.
Problem solved.
Yeah, you could do that.
Again, these are not terrible problems to deal with.
No, I think when it comes to things that are quite personal, like I say, I think jewelry is quite a personal thing, and you have to know somebody incredibly well to risk buying jewelry for them. Especially men. No, I'm going to take that back. Especially me. I am quite, you know, I know what, like I say, I have a watch that I've had for a number of years, and I really like it, and it's the only watch I wear every day.
Yeah.
You know, I do own an Apple Watch, which I wear for sleep tracking and exercise. Not that I do a lot of exercise, but that's what I wear it for. Apart from that, I wear this most days, and I like it. And so if you were going to drop even if it was nice silver and, you know, very similar to this, I'd just be like, but I want to wear this one.
Well, I would extend that to any kind of clothing. I mean, the worst thing, I mean, people don't wear ties anymore, but don't buy me a tie.
No.
Because you won't get one I want.
Exactly.
And you know what?
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, and do you know what? If I was going to wear a tie, it'd be some kind of regimental or club tie anyway. I mean, there's just some random tie. And certainly not one that, a woman thinks is great. I'll go to tie rack. Oh, you'll like that. It's got shapes on it. Well,
but again,
no, I mean, it's very, very unlikely to work out. Shirts, again, very personal. Anything like that. Don't do it, please.
Yeah, that's it.
I'd
You're
rather
almost
have a dog
going
with a wobbly head.
So you almost going just please don't, or please consult me for ideas first.
Yeah.
Because I might turn around to you, you could be like, what kind of shirt? I can look in the wardrobe to see what kind of shirts he likes, but he's already got these, but not sure. And you just find some way of dropping it into a conversation. I'll be like, I've been looking at these shirts on this website, and what do you think to these? These are pretty cool. And then the other person goes, I know what to get now. And I'll go check his existing shirts to find out the collar size, and then go, holy shit, I didn't know they made shirts that big. And then go and buy the shirts that I actually would like.
Yeah.
I feel like there's tact and method, but anyway, I feel like we've gone off track a little bit. Bex has been in the chat.
We're doing it to death, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
But, Bex, being in the chat. I'll
say the chat is popping. Bex, thanks. Yeah.
It's kicking off. It's kicking off in the chat.
Well, it might be based on this comment. What do you consider as going above and beyond for someone's birthday then, Ted?
Well, I suppose just getting some kind of gift or something. I mean, I don't know. Something different. I mean, I don't want to be crude, but yes, you could wake up to breakfast, but there are other things you could be woken up to. Just saying. I
mean, here's a good example behind me. You can't really see it because they're out of focus. But there's actually a collection of rubber ducks on a shelf behind me. Some of which I bought, some of which were bought for me as gifts. And actually, the ones that were bought for me as gifts were very thoughtful and incredibly well thought out, because I already had a small collection of small rubber ducks. So this person thought, okay, he kind of likes rubber ducks, and I do recall telling the story of why I had them. Next thing I know, I think it became a bit of a birthday and Christmas tradition for a short while, that I would receive a Star Trek themed rubber duck, and they now live on that shelf with the rest of my rubber ducks. And like I say, because that person knows me very well.
And I would presume that small rubber ducks are not the most expensive item in the world.
No, exactly. They don't. I don't imagine they cost. I didn't go away and find out, but I imagine they weren't particularly expensive. But again, it was thoughtful.
Yes,
and that was what got. That is what makes them winning gifts for me. Is because actually some time and effort went into thinking about it. I mean, I am so terrible at buying gifts. Because I really struggle to kind of do that mental gymnastics to come out with that kind of idea. But yeah, those gifts are so thoughtful, but it was so small and simple. It's
that's what she said.
It is literally what she said most of the time. But yeah, very simple. But it worked. And that was a person who I told multiple times, please don't buy me things for my birthday. And that's what turned up. You know what? I'm not mad.
No.
I'm not mad about it at all.
Yeah.
Like I say, because it sounds so stupid, but it was a small thing that actually meant a lot. Because it showed how much they actually knew me.
Yeah.
Or know me, I should say.
Yeah.
They're not dead. And I'm not dead.
Yeah. Okay. Glad we clarified that.
Yeah, glad we clarified that one. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, the audience will be dead if we stick with this particular.
I thought you were threatening to kill them there for a minute, Ted. I was like, yes, that's how to get the audience engaged. Threaten to kill them if they don't comment and subscribe.
We're on YouTube. You got to say unalive.
Sorry, unalived.
Unalived, yeah. So anyway, so that was that. Have you got anything to share?
I've got a really nasty rash, if that's what you're talking about.
That's not what I'm talking about.
No. You mean about this thing? I have nothing to contribute here.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I think we've spoken about it to death.
Right. Okay. Right. Give me a short moment. Right. Okay. I'm going to go with the really easy one. And this one, can I just say, all right, it doesn't matter how much of a pick me you're going to be on this one, right? There is no way you'll be able to disagree with me on this one, and we will both be definitely on the ball with this.
How much money are we staking on this?
I'm going to stake. I will stake 10 English pounds that we are. Well, I'm not going to stake any money on it. I'm not going to take.
No, you don't want to put 10 of the King's Own? All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but anyway, everybody has to agree with this. All the listeners and viewers need to agree with take on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, waiting for you.
Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong thing up.
That's what she said.
Right, here we go. This is Low Dakin, 3982. I don't know why there's 3,982 of them at least, but anyway. My girlfriends, more than one. Anyway, my girlfriends keep physically hurting me during arguments. Yep, you guys read the title correctly. During heated arguments, my girlfriend loses control and just hits me. She leaves bruises and marks on me, and I don't know what to do.
Run.
Today, she left a big mark on my forehead. I went home and she Ubered to my house and begged me to forgive her. I'm just so lost, man. What can I do? I love her so much.
Oh. Just run, dude.
Go.
Just leave. Well, if she's Ubered to your house, you should probably call the police. You should ask her to leave, and then when she refuses, you call the police.
Yeah.
But you've made that very difficult on yourself by saying that you love her.
Well, I mean, he's
low Dakin.
Has he? I mean, it's not, I don't think it's made it difficult for him. I mean, what's difficult is the fact that he does.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's made it difficult for me. But, you know, love is a complicated bitch. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So anyway, let's have a look at the comments.
Well, I want your take on it.
My take on it is leave, go.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought there was more to it than that.
No, that was it, really. I mean, let's face it, if it was the other way around, there is not, there's not one person that would disagree.
That's true.
In fact, I don't think anybody would disagree anyway, even if it's this way around.
Anyone in the chat disagree? Let us know.
Yeah.
If you agree, let us know.
Yeah. If you disagree, get off the chat. You're watching the wrong thing.
No, stay. We need the viewers. Please don't leave. We love you all.
Unlucky Duck 0820 says you can love her but love yourself more. This is one of those moments where you ask yourself, what exactly are you going to allow in your life? She does not love you if she's consistently hurting you. I'm sorry, that's abuse, point blank, period.
I don't think it's a period. I think it's just abuse.
No, I don't know. Unless it happens once a month, I don't know.
Menstruation jokes are not funny. Period.
Abuse, man, and I'm there with you. Break free while you can. I hope this helps, but just know you deserve better. This is not okay. This is abuse. You need to look at yourself and ask if this is a healthy space for you. Nobody should ever hit their partner. Leaving bruises. Are you telling co-workers you ran into the door or fell down the stairs? She needs professional help. If you want to salvage the relationship, no.
No one wants that.
No. Not having that. It wouldn't. Nobody would say that, would they? Oh, he probably just needs some professional help if you want to salvage.
Well, this person's saying she needs professional help, but I think he does as well to understand his situation better.
No, what I mean is, if it was the other way around, nobody would be saying get the guy some professional help. They'd be saying get the guy in the back of a police van.
That's like get the guy in jail, yeah.
Yeah, but do you really want to be with somebody that has so little control over their body that they hit you? No one truly loses control like this except toddlers or people who have brain injuries. Okay.
Wow.
To put it into perspective, my partner and I don't even yell at each other because it's just not the respectful way to speak to one another. I told her this, and her response. Oh, here we go. I told her this, and her response was that in arguments I can be mentally abusive and say some really mean things. I think it means, which I don't think I say mean enough for her to punch me and pull my hair. I know I need to leave her, but I can't. I grew up having an abusive dad, so this stuff is just really hard for me. I get a therapist, so maybe that will help me.
I think the therapist will even say you probably need to leave.
Leave. Go. I mean, that's just ridiculous as well. And do you know what? What's she saying to him? She's saying, oh, yeah, but in arguments, you can be mentally abusive. It's like bullshit. Absolute bullshit. All she's doing is basically making him think it's his fault because he's mentally abusive to her.
What does that even mean? I don't even know what mentally abusive means. I know what emotional abuse is.
Well, yes, and I think that's probably where she's going with that. She's kind of saying that emotional abuse is the same thing as physical abuse. So she's, giving back what she's getting. Well, she's not. It's toxic. Get out. Get out. Go.
Whatever happened to sticks and stones? I remember as a kid, I was bullied as a child. I don't think that's a particular secret. But everyone, it was always the same thing. And okay, maybe it just doesn't fly in 2025, but in 1995, it absolutely did. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Yep.
And that was it. People could call you names, people could bully you and say things and whatever. It was fine. As soon as they put their hands on you, that's when they were in trouble.
Yeah.
So as long as you could build some mental resilience against, verbal abuse, you were fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, different if you're female, because that's just the world that we live in.
It's not on. It's not on to make the two, comparable.
No,
and you know what? Also, to say mentally abusive is just bullshit. It's something that she can say because it's too airy-fairy, right?
Well, it's not provable.
It is not. If she punches him, that's a definitive thing. That's definitely happened, right? There was contact made, and that's not on. She should get out, or he should get out, or whatever the dynamic is there. I don't know, but basically, he should be away from that.
Yeah. Nobody should have to suffer that, male or female. Nobody should ever. So, should have to suffer any kind of abuse, verbal or physical.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even if it's verbal abuse, obviously she's just coming up with that as some sort of excuse for her own actions, because otherwise she'd have to be accountable for herself. But so she's bringing that back as being okay. Well, it's only because you're mentally abusive, which is something you can't hang your hat on that. You can't say what that was. No, the advice remains exactly the same. Get out, go. Don't give her another chance.
I agree with that. Yeah. You should leave, irrespective of the context that we don't have. You should just go, and you should ask her to leave. And when she doesn't, you should be calling the fuzz. Yeah. Listening to some of those things, I like some of those comments. It reminded me, I did have a brief conversation with Microsoft Copilot the other day. I was having a particularly bad day at work, and in one of those places where I'm just like, I really don't know what I'm doing here. What am I even supposed to do? So I took to AI. I asked AI. I asked Microsoft Copilot, what am I even doing? And I ended up in like a 2-hour-long conversation with Copilot over what I was doing. Yeah. It was actually really helpful. I'm not going to lie. It was actually incredibly helpful. It was going like, okay, well, let's analyze your day to day. Give me some examples of what you're doing. So I'd write out a few things that I do, or I'd, because it's all linked to my Microsoft account for work. I was like, have a look at my calendar and all this kind of stuff. And it could be, I can see you actually spend a lot of time in meetings, and it starts giving some ideas on how to kind of manage myself and my time better. And I was listening to some of those those comments, it actually reminded me of how Copilot has been talking to me. I was like, fun. So the story here, folks, is I'm now using Microsoft Copilot as my input free therapist. So there you go. Save yourself some money. Take to ChatGPT for therapy.
The thing is, with therapy, you only get out what you put in.
Well, yeah.
Presumably, I don't know. I've never done therapy.
You do. You only get out what you put in. If you can't be bothered to do it, the therapist can't help you.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to help yourself.
Again, with AI, I mean, go to ChatGPT and just say, okay, I want you to act as my therapist, okay? And give it all the prompts. Give it all the prompts, and it'll probably do the job just as well as a therapist. Because you're only going to find out what you've got to say about yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I say all Copilot did was just ask me questions about me and what I do, and to break down my day kind of step by step. And it was just something that in the moment I couldn't do for myself. I just wasn't in the right headspace to do that for myself. So having those prompts there, even just writing, so it's clearly recognized what I'm trying to say and has just gone, okay, well, let's just take a step back and what does your day look like? What are you trying to achieve? What are your top 3 priorities and all this stuff? How much time do you think you need to give these things? Okay, maybe allocate a little bit more time, or use this space that's in your calendar. Because again, it's looking at my calendar and it goes, use this space that's in your calendar. And it's even going, I can give you templates for doing stuff, or I can give you a time management plan, and I'm like, actually, this is really freaking cool.
Yeah,
actually, really helpful. I never thought I'd ever be using AI in that fashion, because I had this again, talking to ChatGPT, and actually, it was part of why I was feeling a bit overwhelmed. Is because everyone's talking AI, everyone's talking how AI can benefit people's jobs and complement their work and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, but working in the IT landscape, I'm sitting there going, I don't know anywhere near enough about this to answer people's questions. And it actually scares me when people start talking about Copilot and ChatGPT and I was going to say deep fake, but no, DeepSeek and all these other ones that exist. I'm just like, it's actually really overwhelming because I don't know what they can do. And I don't know what they're designed to do. All we're getting is a very fancy search engine, where you just put in a question and it starts answering it for you, but instead of it being just here's a bunch of search results, it actually engages you in a conversation, which is not scary, it's really interesting, and I'm really interested by the tech. But I'm just like, and that was part of the conversation. I was like, I'm actually really overwhelmed because I don't understand what AI can do. I don't even understand how it can help me on a day-to-day basis with my work. And again, it starts prompting me saying, what do I do? What am I trying to achieve? What are my priorities? Blah, 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 blah. And it starts building this picture of what I do, really. And I was like, actually, incredibly, incredibly helpful. So, like I say, it was just listening to some of those comments just reminded me of the conversation I was having with Copilot. I wasn't saying I was being abused or anything, but... No.
I have conversations with ChatGPT using the microphone.
You actually talk to it, don't you?
Yeah, I talk to it. And now it's, that's evolved as well. So I find the voice coming back is very kind of natural. It's like a conversation. Just the way it speaks. Which is really helpful. I saw something which is obviously a kind of a work-related thing, which is quite useful. I don't know. I was on social media at some point, and somebody pointed out that one great prompt, and I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something along the lines of, go onto ChatGPT and say, based on all the tasks that we've done together, blah 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 blah, and what I do and what I produce. Could you give me a rundown of what you believe my strengths and weaknesses are? I've not done it yet. Probably a little bit afraid, but that's the sort of thing you can do, and you'd be surprised by the results, because it knows a lot more than you would have.
Well, I was going to say, so when you have an account with these services, it is building a picture of you the more you interact with it. Yeah. And you can eventually ask it that kind of question and say, well, actually, what do you think my weaknesses are? I could probably ask Copilot that exact question now, and it'll tell me what my weaknesses are, and it'll probably put or lack of self-confidence right at the top. And again, I'm happy talking about it. I don't think it's particularly, even in work, it's not a secret. I do lack self-confidence. You know, everyone I talk to, I'm just really unsure about this stuff. I mean, a lot of it's because I get a real lack of direction.
Yeah.
You know, the business tells me they're trying to achieve specific things. I'm like, okay, so how do I help you with that? I said, I've got my ideas, but you don't like, you know, whenever I present them, you don't seem to see them as aligning with your thought process. But what you're not doing is telling me your thought process, or telling me what your ideas are. So how do I get through that? And that's one of my biggest challenges at work. But I could guarantee that if I ask Copilot on my works account that exact question, that's probably what it would say.
Yeah.
It lacks self-confidence, lacks direction. It's like the old school reports, isn't it? Could try harder.
Yeah.
That's me all over.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, we're ahead of the curve. We're talking about AI. Yes, again.
Well, like I say, but it was one of the, and I know, sorry, I don't mean to just keep talking about AI, or didn't mean to steer the conversation into AI, but actually just that couple of hours of interaction, kind of uninterrupted, has actually really helped my understanding of how AI can be used as a tool to complement people's skills. Because it's still a conversation I'm having with people at work even now. It's people just go, oh, but I don't want it to take my job. And it's like, in the unlikely event that AI gets to the point that it could take your job, that is not the idea. You know, the idea is that it complements you. You think of it this way. We don't want to pay you any more money, but we want you to work harder. AI will help you to work harder, or work smarter. You know, that is what it's there for. It's not there to replace you. It's there to make you more efficient.
Yeah.
You are a resource in the eyes of a business. You are a number, and they want you to be as profitable as possible. And AI is there to help you do that. The company will spend 26 or however much it is pounds per month on you on an AI license, so you can do better at your job, and you can return that £26 per month and then some. That's the point.
Absolutely. And if you're not entirely sure what AI can do for you, and you don't know entirely what where to go with things like that, and questions like how am I going to be replaced? How do I make myself irreplaceable, even with the advent of AI? Go onto ChatGPT and ask that question. Based on everything you know about me and what I do, and by the way, I've also attached my CV and bits and pieces and various documents. Take a look at that, all that, and tell me what kind of steps I need to take to make sure that I'm going to remain employable in the face of the advent of AI, and how that can be used to help me rather than to replace me.
In the face of extinction, how is AI going to help me?
Yeah, absolutely. And AI will help you stay ahead of AI.
And in all seriousness, actually, and I know people say you shouldn't do it, and to a point I agree, but even just like, your CV or your resume for our friends across the pond, use ChatGPT and Copilot to work on your profile, especially if you're applying for a specific role, and put the job description in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it will help you to craft something that is more tailored and bespoke for that role that you're applying for. Don't just throw stuff in there, take the output and call it good. You have to read it and still put your own personal touch on it, or else it just comes. I've read so many CVs in the last couple of years, and you can tell the AI generated ones, spelling mistakes, or it's in American English, or that kind, or it's just a word for word recreation of the job spec, just in a different order to make it look like my skills or their skills are matching. Don't do that. You're looking to give the AI your skill set. List out, bullet point your skills, your existing skills, your actual skills. Plug that in. Plug in the job spec and say, how do these two match? And now here's my existing CV. How can you make it look? Or how can you adjust my CV so it's a close? Never ask for it to directly match the job spec. Ask it to pick out your relevant skills that match the job.
Yeah.
And you'll get a much better result.
Yeah. And my tip would be don't get it to do the whole thing wholesale. And if you do, let's say for example you put your CV into ChatGPT and say, please improve this. By the way, the latest things I've got this qualification, this work experience to add to it, whatever. If you are adding stuff to it, please have a go at it, rewrite it, whatever. But in your version, please show all the changes you've made, highlight the changes, and it will come back and it'll show you all the highlighted changes. So then you go back to your original document and make the changes that you like, that you want to keep. Don't go, as like you say, just don't go wholesale with it and expect everything to be absolutely perfect. And the other thing is, think about when you're doing your when you're writing a prompt for AI. Point out all the things that you need to have. For example, write this, and you could just write. It takes a couple of seconds to write the words in British English. Yeah, and it will follow that. And it will write what you want in British English.
And the other one you can. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say sometimes it's worthwhile just saying, "Hey, chat, just want to have a word with you and let you know that at all times I would like all responses to be written in British English."
Or your region, local to you.
Obviously.
And the other one to put in.
If you're in Korea, listen to this, and
But the other one to plug into that, which I found was, especially if you've uploaded a CV and a covering letter, I've received an output. It's been in American English and very AI-ish, and I've gone, can you rewrite this in British English and make it sound more like me? And it'll then analyze your writing style and your tone from your CV and your covering letter, and it will completely change the tone from what it's written. It is clever.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie about it. It's very clever. But I think we should be very careful how we're using it. Again, and it's part of the thing. Not that I'm actively looking for a job. He says, but. Like I'll be scouring LinkedIn, as any sensible person should. I'm looking through LinkedIn periodically just to see what's out there, because you never know. But every role that I look at that's at my level or higher, always say, even if it's been posted a day ago, it'll say posted a day ago, and then right next to it says over 100 people have clicked apply, or over 100 applicants. And it's because so many people are just firing out generic CV after generic CV, or AI-generated CV after AI-generated CV. It is difficult to stand out, but you've got to persevere. Use the tools, but don't just take whatever the GPT spits out as gospel. It's not that will never work for you. You have to tailor it for you and make it sound like you've actually written it. You should be using the AI as a guide on what you should be writing, not the tool to write it for you. Anyway,
and in fact, what you can do, and this might be the case with a lot of tasks, so that you don't get trapped into that thing where you're writing something that obviously looks written by AI. Get your prompts right so that you can actually get things looking a bit more natural or in your own style. But another good thing is just give me a bulleted list of what to include. I want a plan. Give me a plan of how to write this. Don't write it. Give me a plan of things that need to be in there, and where it needs to be, and work from that.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
Anyway,
shall we move on from AI?
We can move on from AI. And do you know what? I think what we'll do is we'll have a very short break. And then when we get back from the break, this is something to look forward to, because you're going to come back and we're going to have our Cat of the Week.
Oh, Cat of the Week. When we come back.
Yes.
And we're back.
We are back indeed.
And I caught you looking at your phone.
You did. Yeah.
I just during the break there, I thought I'd grab a couple of the rubber ducks to show you. There you go. There's one. It's a Mr. Spock rubber duck.
Okay.
And there's a Captain Kirk rubber duck. Oh, there you go. I thought, in case you're interested, I know you probably weren't, but in case anybody out there was.
Well, I think we need to have a CJ and Ted rubber ducks. There you go. There's a merch idea.
Well, I was thinking, you know, those Funko Pops.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
I know. Do I
Hold
know
on.
what? Funko Pops.
Funko Pops.
What's a Funko Pop?
I do have some Star Trek ones, obviously. These things with the big fat heads and the dots for eyes, and
Oh, okay.
it's called a Funko Pop.
Oh, okay.
I'll put that back later.
Yeah. Funko Pop.
Yeah, well, I mean they're all the rage. Pop vinyl, and you go to they're doing for everything. All your favourite TV and movie. Okay, the popular TV and movies. You generally get Funko Pops, and if you're really lucky, and when you're an influencer, you can have your own Funko Pop made.
Oh, but there you go.
And people can buy it, and you can make a little bit of money out of it. Not much, but a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, would anybody want a CJ and Ted plushies?
Get in the chat and let us know. I was thinking, actually, okay. I was thinking about getting a CJ Brooks plushie like pillow made.
Oh yeah.
So you know my gaming logo avatar, which I don't have an example here to show the viewers, but go onto my channel at CJ Brooks on YouTube, and you'll see my avatar there. I was thinking about trying to turn that into some kind of plushie.
No.
I was going to go to Hobbycraft and buy some nice fabrics and just try and make it myself.
Okay.
I thought that'd be quite cool. It's still a work in progress. It's an idea that I definitely want to follow through with it because I think that'd be quite cool. And then once I kind of got a design, again, if my channel ever got big enough, it would just be, hey, you can buy a CJ plushie.
Fantastic. Or a Ted James
bobblehead.
No, I wasn't going to say bobblehead. I was going to say body pillow, full size, with detail.
So the details on it are very small.
Yeah. Talking of something small, it's time to examine some of our favourite creatures in this week's Cat of the Week.
Cat of the Week. Meow meow.
I made
Meow.
I made that a bit quiet. Sorry.
That's okay. So anyway, the Cat of the Week, I said it was going to be related to whatever we were talking about earlier, and it is, because this week I've gone with this particular feline.
Feline.
Feline. I'll play this because it's a video.
Cat's a bit warm and just wants some Chinese wasp torture, apparently.
Exactly, and that's how I feel. That is how I feel at the moment with the heat, the way that it is.
It's a bit warm
every day. Yeah. So anyway, my son's doing swimming lessons at the moment, and we just sit around the outside, and it's the hottest thing in the world.
I'm gonna say, you go to a swimming pool, even when you're not in the enclosed area where the pool is.
Yeah.
Just the whole inside of the building is so humid.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, when my sibling was very young, and they would go off to their swimming lessons, and I'd sit outside in the cafe, and I'd just be there like that. I'd be like, oh, God. It could be the middle of winter outside, and I'm just like, oh, it's so warm. Yeah. It's so humid inside those buildings. You know, you can be nowhere near the pool, and the humidity is still getting you. It's just incredible. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. I forgot. Oh yeah. So, anyways, it's out there, and so jealous, right? Because you've got parents sitting all the way around. Because this is a I don't know, like a smallish pool. I mean, it's deep, or deeper on one side than the other, obviously. But it's just purely for lessons. So children's swimming lessons.
Yep.
And so it's quite small and therefore more enclosed. So, you know, it's not airy at all. It's not, hasn't got a tall ceiling like you get in some places.
Yep.
So it's stifling, really is. And
stifling is a good
all
word.
you're thinking when you sat there is like, that bit of the pool that's not being used, I just want to jump into it. I just want to jump in that pool so much.
Yep.
Anyway, so there's a plucky little pussy. getting
Wet.
getting wet. So anyway, talking of cats and cats of the week, I think what we really ought to do is try and open this up. If you got a cat, if you're watching, you're listening, you got a cat, and you want to share a picture and perhaps a little bit of a story about your cat and why your cat should be the CJ and Ted Show Cat of the Week, then please do so. Send it to us. Get in the comments, get to all the usual places that we tell you to contact us.
So hang out to the end and you can find out where to contact us. If you don't already know.
Watch until the end.
Please.
Or skip forward if it's not you're not watching live. I mean, it's up to you. But
that'd be great when you're watching live, because that was a whole thing. 10 years ago or whatever it was. You can pause and rewind live TV. Can I fast forward it? Because this bit's boring. I want to fast forward through the adverts if that's all right. Because
I want to fast forward to the horse racing in about a month's time.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Don't ask me why. So,
does a time machine exist so I can go forward in time and see what the results of the horse race is like? Asking for a friend.
Yeah. If you had a time machine. Hang on. Anyway, so that was Cat of the Week.
Cat of the Week. Meow meow.
Great. And that brings me on to time machines.
Wait, do we need thanks for the memories on this one?
Oh, yeah. Tee it up. So anyway, there we go.
I'll just press the button and crash it now. So I'm just going to talk all the way through it just to annoy everybody, including myself.
Thanks for the memories.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the memories. Okay. Yep. Hey, CJ.
Hey, Ted.
If you had a time machine, what would you do? What's the first thing you would do?
Find out what the winning lottery numbers were from a few weeks ago when it was like 200 and something million on the Euro Millions.
Okay.
And then, no, I'd find out from the week before and then go and put the winning numbers on for the week before.
Why not when did the lottery start?
Christ, 90s? Early 90s?
I don't remember.
I don't know, I was a kid.
Yeah, I think I seem to think it was a year or so before I was old enough to play it. Something like that. Anyway.
Sounds about right.
So you go back to the beginning, because the first time was a decent chunk anyway. Win the money, invest it in Apple. There you go.
Well, like I say, invest in Apple and then invest in Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah, when it comes around.
Yeah, when Bitcoin comes around.
I mean, I'm definitely doing that. If I had a time machine, I would be going to, day one of, being able to buy Bitcoin, and I would be buying Bitcoin.
When it was like, a quarter of 1% or something of a dollar to buy one coin.
Oh, God.
Oh, right, okay. So I was watching a YouTube video the other day.
We're over $100,000 now.
Are we?
Well over. Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like about 70 grand in sterling now or something.
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
it's big. It's big. I mean,
that's what she said.
Yeah, and we're only talking a couple of years ago. You were talking like 12, 13 grand.
Well, I was gonna say. So I was watching a YouTube video the other day. I can't remember what the theme of the video was, but there was a segment in there about a guy who jumped on the Bitcoin boat quite early.
Oh, yeah.
Mined a load of coins. Again, this is like back when it was like less than 0.1% of a dollar to buy, or less than 0.1 cents to buy a coin.
Yeah.
And he mined a load of them, but he couldn't see it going, and he couldn't really, obviously at the time, didn't see the value.
This isn't the pizza guy, is it?
It might be, but he shoved it on a hard drive, stashed it away, and then one day it just got thrown out, and then obviously it then blew up, and he's missed out on millions.
Yeah, there's a guy that is trying to get permission to rummage through the tip.
That's it. Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah, and
to go through a landfill to try and retrieve it.
Yeah, and he said to the local authority or whoever runs the tip, listen, I will give you half. If I find it, I will give you half of this money. And we're talking millions. I mean, we're talking like close to $1 billion or something like that.
Yeah, it's that
like
same guy.
Massive, massive money. There was another guy who had he sold no, he paid for like 2 pizzas, and I can't remember what it was, but something like, I think it's something crazy like 100 Bitcoin or 10 Bitcoin. I mean, it's just so, you'd be ripping your hair out. You'd be like, I can't believe I did that.
I think that's the thing that puts me off investment, because I get so scared that I'd get to a point, like, let's say I had a single Bitcoin right now, right? I'd held my nerve long enough to get to this point, and I could come out with $100,000 just by selling that one coin. Yeah. But what's going to happen in 10 years' time when that coin's worth over $1 million? I'll be ripping my hair out. Yeah. And I know I would as well, because I'd just be like, all I had to do was just hang on for another few years, and I could have had even more. Yeah. And that's the thing that really scares me about investment and really puts me off doing it, because I know I spend too much time reflecting on things like that. Yeah. Like, I do it even now with my savings account, right? I won't say how much is in there, but I know that every day I earn 1 penny in interest for every £100 that is in that account. Yeah. Which is actually a really nice incentive for me. So, because I can see the benefit of what I'm doing. Just by not doing anything, I can see the benefit. Every single day, I can see that money going up. Yeah. If only we didn't have terrible inflation making that basically a minus. But go on. Don't. It was at 4%. It's now down to 3.75%, and I'm fuming because I'm like, where's the rest of my money, motherfuckers? Anyway, no, but it's like, but I keep looking at that because I'm like, there are things I want to buy. There's things I want to do. Yeah. But there's also bigger things that I want to do. Like, I want to pay off my car eventually. I want to save up enough money for a mortgage. I want to do lots of things. But I'm also like, I look at my computer here and I go, I could just do with a new computer case. One where I can just move things around and make a bit more space for other things, and I can put some nice colourful fans in and do all these wonderful tech nerdy shit that people like me do. But then I look at my account and I go, I could spend that money right now. Yeah. But then I'll lose out on that 1p per £100 per day. And I won't touch it. Yeah. If I could see that, what would be better? Buy Bitcoin. But because I don't see that with Bitcoin, and because it goes up and down, I'd lose my nerve very quickly. I mean, I've done it. I think I put like a tenner into like one of these trading apps. And immediately I lost £1. I was like, nope, don't want to do it, pull the money out, bail, pull the chute, and I bailed. Right. And that was about a year ago. Okay, so that was probably, I mean... That was a bad move. I know it was a bad move. Was it Bitcoin? It was Bitcoin, yeah. Okay, so how long ago was that? Whenever we were talking about it, ages ago, you and I, after the show one day, we were just sat here talking about it, and we were talking about the crypto app? Yeah. And I signed up for an account there and then, and I stuck a tenner in there. And then the next day I lost £1 and I just pulled the money out. I was like, nope, can't do this. I literally went, I cannot do this. Yeah. Because I lost straight away, and I was just like, but again, if I held my nerve, that tenner would now be worth 15 quid? I don't know.
Well, more than that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends when it was, but it could have 10x. I don't remember. It could have 10x by then. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. So it could be 100 quid. Maybe. But I've also been watching a few YouTube videos about investment, because I know I need to learn more about it. I know that if I want to be more financially stable, and then become financially successful, I need to learn more about investment. That's where it comes. That's where it is. But it's not about putting all my eggs in one basket. That's one thing I'm learning. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have to spread it. You have to spread your investment out. So you put a bit in Bitcoin, you put a bit in Ethereum, you put a bit into stocks, and you spread your stocks around.
don't go all in on Apple. Don't go all in on Amazon. Spread it about a bit. Don't buy Tesla right now. Wait until it's dropped down a bit more and then pick it up again. But things like that. And it's that. And I'm like, and there was a thing. This guy was like, it was, what did he say it was? It was like $1 a day challenge. And he basically said, every month, load in enough to cover the month. So if it's a 31-day month, put $31 in there. And then every day, just put $1 into something, anything. And he says, and as you learn the markets, start to become more strategic. And he basically goes, you'll end up putting in $365 of your own money into investment in the first year. But what you'll see in the return after that first year will be more than the $365 you've put in. As long as you've been fairly strategic. If you've just thrown your money at shit that's going to fail and fall over straight away, you're probably going to lose money. Or you're going to be very unlucky and you're going to lose money. He said, as long as things are stable and prices go up or stock prices go up, you're going to make money. It won't be a vast amount, but you're going to make money. And he said, that's the best way to get started in investment.
And you'll make more money than you do having it sat in a savings account.
A 3.75% APR savings account, yeah. Yeah,
when, your money is going to be able to buy less and less every year. In fact, a really good investment at the moment, if you want to see good returns, is go and fill your car up with petrol.
Right.
Yeah, because at the moment, it could well rocket. So there you go. Fill your car up, but don't panic buy.
I'll say the thing is, I feel people look at me funny when I tell them this. I refill my car like I fill the tank after every journey. Well, when I get home after everything, and that's it's strategic. Number one, so I can get the receipt, so I can claim the fuel on expenses for work. And number two, no matter where I have to go, I've always got a full tank of fuel. Well, I'm going to Scotland in a couple of weeks. Week after next. Probably shouldn't say that. But I'm going for a journey around Scotland. 1,000 miles, go and see some businesses. I'm going to be gone for the whole week. But it's that I know that on that Monday morning when I leave, I'm going to have a full tank of fuel. And then when I get to where I'm going, I'll fill up there as well. Again, because I need the receipt for the fuel expenses. But when I then start the next journey the next day, I have a full tank of fuel.
Yeah.
I'm never worried about, oh shit, I need to find somewhere to pull, to fill up. Oh crap, it's going to be a motorway services and it's going to cost a fortune. I can always plan my journey quite strategically, and I know what I'm doing and where I'm going. But yeah, that's just me though. But anyway, so yeah, I'm back in the idea or considering investing, and again, just doing like £1 a day, and just seeing where that takes me.
Yeah,
£1 a day is not a lot, or in the grand scheme of things, £365 a year is not a lot of money. For most people, I know that's a lot for some, but for most people, that's not a lot, and it'll just be I'll just spread it around a bit. I'll stick £1 into Apple. Actually, what I'll probably do is put a fair chunk of money into Apple around end of August, just before they announce the new hardware, because then the prices will go when the new hardware gets announced. And then I'll spread it around some other bits, like I say, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, maybe not Microsoft. But like I say, I'm into tech, so I follow a lot of the tech stuff. So I feel like I'm getting a better grasp on how the stock markets react to tech. Yeah,
it's a pretty safe bet.
Especially AI, if you can get once the AI companies go public, get investing. Yeah. If they're not public already, that's one thing I don't know at the moment, is whether like ChatGPT, like OpenAI, I don't know if they're public. Find out. I want to find out.
Ask ChatGPT.
OpenAI.org, is it? .com.
.com.
Yeah, it's .com. Is OpenAI on the stock market? Searching the web. OpenAI is not publicly traded on any stock exchange. There is no ticker, no IPO, no way to buy it via regular brokerage. It remains a private company under its non-profit. Yeah, because it's non-profit.
Okay.
But one day, Microsoft is currently worth $495.94. Apparently. But again, it's that I'm looking at the graph. And it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's like, it started off at like 496 this morning. Took a dip at about 10 a.m. to... Sorry, no, correction. Started at 497.49 at 9:30. Dips down to 496. Then peaked at 499. And then took a massive nosedive at 3 p.m. to 494. I say massive, it's not a vast amount. But then when you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment, that's a massive drop. Down to there, and then closed off the day at 496. Sorry, 495. So yeah, it is that. I look at that and I'm like, so anyone that invested in Microsoft first thing this morning has lost a lot. It finished lower than it started. And that'd be enough to put me off.
Yeah, but the thing is, you just got to take the chart and zoom out.
I was gonna say, but they also say on these YouTube videos that they should look at 6 months to a year, and see what's going. And actually, I'm just looking at the 6 month chart at the moment, and it's up. It's an upward. It took a shit around April, but has recovered nicely. In the past 6 months, has grown by 16%.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's not going to go away. There are certain things that
Microsoft is never going away.
It's not going away. All right. Nobody's talking about trading in Blockbuster or something that's going to be rather reliant on pretty stagnant business plan, really.
Commodities is what you should be investing in. Things that people need and will always need.
Yeah, arms.
Well, if you can get that, I don't know. Can you trade those?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like I say, just step back, look at, like you say, the last year. Look at the last couple of years, and generally speaking, you'll see it's an upward trend. And when there's a dip, if there's a big dip, and you're thinking, well, this is I'm in this one for the longer term, buy the dip.
I was gonna say, when you're in a dip, buy more. Buy more when it's cheaper. Yep. Yeah. I'm looking at the 5-year trend, 135 growth, 135% growth. Growth with an F.
We've got a bit of growth, haven't we?
Now, set it to max. I don't know what the actual, what's that? April 2003 to now has seen a 1,870% growth in 22 years. That's massive.
What was it, percentage?
1,870%. Can you, okay, the value of your money has decreased over that time, but you're still winning. You invested you invested $25.99 in April, so $25.17 in April 2003.
Yep.
$25.
10x.
And it's now 495. It's 20 times.
Is it what was the percentage again?
1,800. Okay, so it's 18 times.
Yeah, it's near enough. That's right.
It's like 19 times what you first invested. So you stick £1,000 in there, you've got yourself 100 grand or 200 grand back.
Yeah. And of course, there are going to be dips, but if you're looking for a bigger trajectory than that, Bitcoin is probably going to take that. This is not financial. None of this is financial advice.
Please don't take this as actual financial advice.
No, do not. Investments can go down as well as up.
Yeah, and you may risk losing everything that you invest.
Yep.
Can you show me the stock graphs? Is that what they're called? For Bitcoin.
See, this would be great if we were showing it on the screen.
Holy mother of Jesus.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for the prompt. In a day, increase of 0.02%. Okay, so plus but that's plus 24. But look at the price of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like £80,000. £85,000, give or take. Yeah. In a week,
So,
growth of 6.2%. I mean, look at that. If you invested 100 grand a week ago, you've made yourself 7 grand.
Yeah.
In a week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's close to footballer pay.
Yeah, bring it out though. Let's go back 5 years.
So wob wob, looking at that over the month. But that's the risk.
Yeah.
It was at what's that 17838, and it's now at according to this 106.
Yeah. Look at the 3 year chart.
Well, I was gonna say, but you keep going. It's green. It's gone up. Okay, again, took a bit of a shit around there, but has pulled itself back over a year. Massive growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually, yeah, I think it must have been around this time that we were talking about it, because I remember looking at it going, that's $60,000.
Yeah.
That's a shitload of money, but now look at it, it's $100,000.
Yeah.
5 years. $9,000.
Yep.
It is, tenfold.
Yep.
1,046%.
Yep.
Over its lifetime, holy mother, 93,761% growth.
Mm-hmm.
Since 2013, in 12 years, nearly 100,000% growth. Starting off, I mean, that's just as far back as it'll let me see it, $114.16 when it started publicly trading.
So there you go, folks. That's the answer to that particular question. If you had a time machine, you'd go back to, what year was that?
That was 2013.
Go back to 2013.
Spend
buy
$100.
Bitcoin,
Yeah, spend $100 on a single coin.
Yeah.
But again,
you just put everything you've got. I mean, spend $1,000.
Well, I was going to say, at that point, I was spending more than that.
House, stick it all on.
Well, I was going to say, at that point, I was spending more money on lottery tickets than anything else.
Yeah. And then in the next, I mean, it's going to be less than 10 years. Isn't it? The price point on a Bitcoin is going to be about $1 million.
Oh, yeah. I reckon so.
Yeah.
I reckon so.
But we are now at the point where people are not going to be, most people will never own a full Bitcoin.
Nope. Unless you are already a millionaire.
Yep.
And you can afford to drop that kind of money on a single coin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most people will never own a single coin.
Yeah. But anyway, there we go. That is that. What was I about to do there? I was just gonna see what's happening in the chat. So I've looked over at the chat, and it's pretty quiet, I'd say.
Yep, it's all not kicking off in the chat today.
It's all not kicking off in the chat. I tell you what, should we have one last peek into the world of Reddit?
We shall,
and then we'll wrap up.
We'll wrap up,
but not wrap up nice and warm because it's bloody hot.
So it's already too hot.
Yeah. Am I the arsehole? This is Ekbail, ECBAIL. Ekbail says, "Am I the arsehole for not sharing my groceries just because we live together?" Now hold that thought for a moment. When he says live together, I, 31 male, rent a flat with 2 other guys. We all agreed we'd buy our own groceries and label stuff.
So already not the arsehole.
Yeah. One of them keeps accidentally, in inverted commas, using my stuff milk. What? I think he means stuff. Milk, eggs, even my coffee. Even the coffee? My God. Why is that the biggie? I don't know. He always says, I'll replace it, but rarely does.
What I love about that is, spot the non-coffee drinker in this show. Don't fuck with the coffee.
Yeah. He says I'll replace it, but rarely does. I stopped saying anything and just started moving my stuff into my room. Mini fridge. Well, fair enough. Now he's calling me petty and says I'm killing the vibe, but I'm not his parent. Okay. Am I the asshole for being territorial about my food in a shared house?
Nope, definitely not. I'd do the same thing. And actually, I think if I did live, I think we've spoken about this before. If I did live in a shared house, I would absolutely just have my own fridge anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Locked. No fuckers getting my food.
Mm-hmm.
DJ doesn't share food.
Mm.
It's quite simple. Yeah. That's a straightforward one.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
I don't know. What about you? Like I say, that's a very snap. I totally get where this guy's coming from. If I've bought my own groceries and we agreed to buy our own groceries, don't touch my fucking groceries.
Yeah, that seems entirely reasonable to me, I think. I mean, if it was just like every now and again, but it would be if the guy, if the guy's there and you said, "Oh God, can I grab a couple of eggs?" Because I'm, I haven't got any, whatever it is, and then replace them. Great, but on a regular basis, just dipping in and accidentally using somebody's stuff.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't accidentally use someone's fucking groceries.
No.
Oh, I accidentally drank your milk instead of mine. Why?
Yeah.
It's labelled.
Mm.
Could you not read?
Mm.
I'll colour code it if you prefer.
Mm.
I'll happily stick a coloured label on there.
Yeah.
And red means keep your fucking hands off.
Yep.
I'd also start.
Milk.
I'd also start booby trapping it.
Yeah.
I'd literally put decoys in there, especially if it was the milk. I'd literally put vinegar in there or something.
Right.
And be like, now drink milk.
Yeah.
Like, well, they'd never. I bet you they wouldn't touch your milk again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you got two milks basically. You got milk in your mini fridge in your room, and then you've got your laxative milk.
Yep.
In the main fridge. I like that. I like that.
Indication.
Yeah. No. So there we go. That's a quick one because that's what she said. Because there's no comments on that. I think it's because it's a given, isn't it? Are you the arsehole? No, you're not the arsehole. Is that what you agreed to do? Yes, it is what you agreed to do. Are people taking the piss? Yes, they are. Yeah. End of story.
End of story. End of show.
If you love this, and why would you? Because nobody's bloody watching. But if you catch up on this later on,
Bex was watching it at some point.
That's true.
So thanks, Bex.
Yeah. Well, at least one. No, actually, I think we did have a few at one point. Yeah. But people, it's a hot night. It's a Friday night. People are probably in beer gardens or something like that,
enjoying the cool breeze.
Enjoying the cool breeze on their knees. If you've got a fantasy burger, let us know in the comments. If you got anything you want to say, you disagree with what we've said, or whatever it may be, you want to get in touch, do so. You can DM the show. You can DM me at Ted James Media, or us on all the socials at CJ and Ted. That's it, at CJ and Ted.
Nice new tags, like it.
Or of course. Or you can, of course, email us at
CJ and Ted. Wait, is this still the TuesdayShow.co.uk?
Yeah, it still is, yeah.
CJ and Ted at the TuesdayShow.co.uk.
There we go. And so until next week.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Oh, that didn't work. Can you see that?
Yeah, that happened a couple of weeks ago, didn't it?
Right.
It was going so well.
It was going so well.
Yeah. Should we have another stab at that?
I think we should.
That's what she said.
But while we do it, before the little blue thing, before the sweep comes on, I need to quickly adjust this. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, we love you. I'm quickly adjusting everything so we can be gone in just a moment. 3, 2, 1, bye.